This video is a lecture on Chapter 7, Section 5, so 7.5, List Methods and Useful Built-in Functions. If you have not read that section, I suggest you read through it before watching the video. So what we have here are functions that can be used on list. And I'm going to use the first example in that section for building up a list of names to demonstrate all the various or the common methods you can use on a list. So the first one we're going to use is the append method, and it is used to actually append items, which means to add items to the end of a list. And that's how we're actually going to build up the list. So this program starts out with a blank list, and I know it's a list because of the square brackets. That tells Python we're dealing with a list. We're going to control a while loop using this again variable, and we're going to default it to y, which means yes in this case, which means to loop again. So while again equals y, we're going to have the user enter their name or a name, doesn't have to be theirs, and then we're going to append it to the actual list. After that, we are going to get a new input for the variable again, and the user will be given some instructions. Y equals yes, that means they want the loop to happen again. Anything else they type in is going to be no. So let's just run this, and then of course, so after the while loop is finished, I am going to print the list, and I have all this contained in a main method, and I'm going to call that main method at the bottom of this program. So let's run this, and we begin by entering a name. So let's enter a name, and I'll enter y, so the loop will execute again. That way it will prompt me to enter another name. Now we can enter anything else, but I'm just going to enter n. That should terminate the loop and then print out the list. So now we have these items in square brackets, which means that that is a list. So there's the append method. Let's look at some other methods here. So the first one we're going to look at is index. So I'm going to uncomment this. And the index is pretty simple. It just takes an argument, such as the item you're looking for in the list, and it will return what index that it occurs. So let me show you. Let's build up the list again. Griffith. Let's just add 2 items here. So we're looking for Griffith is what we told it to look for. So Griffith happens first. That means that it will return 0, because in a list, as you read previously, the first item in the list has an index of 0, the second one 1, and so on. So the index starts at 0. Okay, so that looks right. Let's go to the next function. So we have an insert method, and insert actually takes 2 parameters. It takes the index where you would like the item to be inserted, and then it actually takes the item that you would like to insert. So a little bit different than the append. The append just adds to the end of the list. The insert actually inserts it to a particular index. So if I say 0, that means I want it to be inserted at the beginning of the list. So let's run this. Enter a name. I'm just going to do one name this time. And notice how I'm still printing out my original list here. We insert new name to index 0, and then we print that out. That's exactly what I would expect. Okay, let's keep going. We've got the remove also. Actually, I'm going to keep the insert in because now remove takes an item that you would like to remove from the list. Griffith. So the first printout is from the original list, which I just typed in Griffith. Second list printout is from where we inserted new name to the front of the list. The third printout is where we have told Python we want to remove new name from the list and then print that so we're back to just our original Griffith. So that all makes sense. Comment those out. Next one's going to be reverse, and it does exactly what you would think it does. It reverses the order of the list. So let's enter a few items here. Actually, just 2 will probably work. And I forgot to uncomment it. Let's try this one more time. So uncomment, to call the reverse method is a simple list.reverse. Let's try this one more time. So the first print is going to be the original list, so I typed in Griffith and Charles, so the order is Griffith and Charles. The second print is where I have called the reverse method, and so it will take the list and reverse it. So now Charles, that was at the end, is now in the beginning, and so is Griffith. So let's actually run this with more than, let's just do some random names here. So this will show you a little bit better that we have completely flipped the order around. Okay, the last method I would like to show you is the delete method. So we already looked at the remove method. The difference between these two is that the remove actually takes the item that you would like to remove, whereas delete takes the, it's looking for the index. So it's going to remove the index, the item at the index you specify. So I have told this to delete, DEL, delete from name list index number 1. So index number 1 is going to point to the second item in the list, since index starts at 0 for list in Python. So let's enter a few items here. And I told it I want to remove index 1, so here's the original printout, Griffith, Charles, and Lee. And I said remove index 1, which happens to be Charles, so the second printout right here has Charles removed. And that's it. If you have any questions after watching this video or reading through chapter or section 5, please reach out to me. Thanks.